Are you thinking about moving to Prince William County, Virginia, or maybe you're getting relocated here to Prince William County? Well, in this video, I'm going to do a full breakdown on all the areas of Prince William County, show you locations, housing prices, school ratings, and more. So let's get right into it. Really quick though, hit the subscribe button or definitely like this video for me. And if you are looking to move here to the Washington, D.C. area, hit me up at the number below or shoot me an email, info@colganteam.com. My name is Chris Colgan with eXp. So where exactly is Prince William County located? Right here, it is west of Washington, D.C., and it is located in Northern Virginia, which would be Loudoun, Fairfax, Prince William, Arlington, and Alexandria. So the big places that most people move to in Prince William County when they're thinking about moving there is usually going to be this Woodbridge area, or over here to this Manassas and Gainesville and Haymarket area. Why is that, right? Well, first of all, you're talking about with this Woodbridge area, you have 95 that shoots up through Lorton, through Fairfax, through Springfield, Virginia, and you can hit the Beltway, or you can take that right into Washington, D.C., or Arlington, Virginia, or even over into Maryland, like the National Harbor area, or just go up this way into Annandale, Virginia. So all kinds of different reasons, but 95 is the main reason that people move over to the Woodbridge area. And then of course you can go a little bit south here and you have Quantico, where the FBI or the Marine base is. So a lot of that over in eastern Prince William County. Now, why do most people move over towards Manassas or maybe the west end of the county where I actually grew up in? So Manassas is right here, kind of centrally located. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind if you're ever searching on a map, or like maybe the MLS, like Zillow, Redfin, Manassas has Prince William County, Manassas, and then they also have the city of Manassas and then the city of Manassas Park, which can be a little confusing, so definitely keep that in mind. But over here, Manassas, you have this 28 that kind of shoots right up into Centerville or Chantilly area, or maybe if you're going into Herndon, and then Dulles Airport would be right up here. So that would be like a commute for you that you could go that way. Or people take this 234 bypass area and they hop on 29 or Route 66 and they head over into Fairfax or Arlington or Alexandria. And then eventually, if you went into Vienna, Virginia, you could hit the metro. That would take you right into DC or several other parts. But a lot of people move over here as well to this Manassas area because it's a little bit more affordable option than like an Ashburn or a Centerville, Virginia. Now, same thing if you were going to look over at the Gainesville or Haymarket area. These areas really have blown up in the last few years, maybe the last decade or two. There's been a lot more people moving here. Again, you can take this 29 and go right into Centerville, or you can also hop on 66 and go right out here into Washington, D.C. or the Beltway. Very conveniently located. The roads used to be really bad there and get really backed up with traffic, but they have done a lot of extensions and really fixed the roads in the last few years. So let's kind of talk about each area of Prince William County and kind of talk about the home prices, school ratings, and all those different things. All right, so let's talk about Woodbridge, Virginia. This is what I really like about Woodbridge. There's plenty to do there. Like, they're actually going to be building Northern Virginia's biggest sports complex there, all kinds of newer schools. And then you have Potomac Mills Mall, which is a huge shopping area and destination. And then of course it is conveniently located off I-95. Now the medium sold price in Woodbridge is going to be around $420,000. Now there's a lot of older single families that were built in the 60s and 70s, and also townhomes and condos, and the pricing there can go way up to the millions of dollars or as low as $300,000. So definitely it's one of those areas that has plenty of different housing options. And like I said, most people move there because it's conveniently located. Now keep in mind, there's going to be brand new neighborhoods, and then there's going to be 50 to 60-year-old neighborhoods. Now the housing rating on niche.com, which is kind of all area and user generated, is going to be a C overall, and then a B for good for families, and then a B plus overall niche.com rating, and then a C plus for public schools. There's some older public schools in that area, and then there's also, a lot of brand new public schools in that area as well. But like I said, plenty of shopping areas. There's a really good area over there where they have the Alamo Draft House, all kind of Bar Louie, just all kinds of different shops and restaurants. And like I said, it is conveniently located right near 95 right over here. And then of course you have the water as well over into Maryland and all that. Another area kind of close to there that a lot of people look at would be this Dumfries, Virginia. Now you could hit this 234 and this would take you right over into Manassas, or you could of course just drop on 95 or Route 1. Keep in mind though, some of these roads can get pretty busy and traffic. There's some great 55 and plus active adult communities over in Dumfries as well. There's one called Four Seasons that's really popular. And there's plenty of brand new neighborhoods as well. Medium sales price in Dumfries is going to be around $525,000. And then it has an overall B rating on niche.com, and then B for public schools, and then C plus for housing, and then B good for families. There's some older neighborhoods in there that I really love as well, with like golf courses, outdoor pools, all kinds of different things to do. You have all kinds of housing options over in the Dumfries area. Some of them, you can get a single family from 500, 600, 700,000 that can be built in the 70s or 80s. Or there's some brand new neighborhoods like Port Potomac that just go up into the millions of dollars, or townhomes that are $700,000 to $800,000. But the big thing is, right, when you're considering Woodbridge and Dumfries, it's all about the location. And like I said, you are super close to 95, which is a huge help. And then of course you also have, which kind of comes down right into Virginia, you have this Virginia Railway Express, and it makes stops in Lorton, Virginia, Woodbridge, and then it goes a little bit further down to Potomac Shores, eventually down to Quantico Marine Base, and then it actually cuts off in Alexandria and it heads down towards Manassas Park and the city of Manassas, and then Broad Run, which would be close to Bristow, Virginia. So that's all obviously an option. So it kind of just like runs its way through here. So if you really wanted to take the train, you could do it through Woodbridge area or also through the Manassas area. That would definitely be a good option. All right, so let's talk about Manassas. Honestly, one of my more favorite places in all of Northern Virginia. There is actually a statue there of my grandfather, and one of the schools there is named after my grandfather. So I really love Manassas, obviously, and that's where my family originally came here in the 60s over in the Manassas area. So medium sold price in Manassas is going to be around $432,000. They have a B rating on niche.com for overall, C for public schools, C plus for housing, and then B minus on good for families. So Manassas City is like located right here, and then you also have Manassas Park. Now Manassas Park, you kind of go right up through the middle of it, and the left side is going to be a lot of like World War II type housing, like the row housing that you would see in like a Levittown, New York. And then on the right side is some brand new neighborhoods like Bloom's Mill or Bloom's Crossing, with all kinds of brand new shopping centers. Like I said, the train station, they have a nice new downtown center they're going. And then there's also the Signal Hill area with all kinds of different shopping, things to do, nightlife, all kinds of different things. And most of the people that I've sold houses to that work for someone like a Micron that's in Manassas, or maybe even a Lockheed Martin or Aurora Flight Services, they all really love Manassas. And the main thing is, in this Old Town Manassas, you have a couple different cool things, right? Like you have the Old Town Manassas where you can walk up and down the first Friday, and I've done videos on this. They close down all the streets of the month and all the restaurants, and it's all local restaurants, and people walk up and down the streets. They have all kinds of bands playing. They've even had Civil War events over there, and it's really beautiful Americana type place. And like I said, I really love the local restaurants. The train station is right there. Really beautiful place, and there's a lot of brand new townhomes and condos popping up over there that we can definitely show you as well. And then when you get over to this part of Manassas, that's going to be more of like the Sudley area, it's called, or Bull Run area, and that's going to be close to the Manassas battlefield, which is this huge battlefield where a big battle from the Civil War was fought. And that's a great place where a lot of people go hiking, and a lot of tourists come around to see Civil War history. Maybe when they come out to Washington, D.C., they visit that area. But there's a lot of great older neighborhoods that were built in the 60s and 70s called like Sudley or Loch Lomond, and you can get a single family in there from anywhere from like $500,000 to $600,000. Or you go to the other side and there's brand new townhomes for $600,000-$700,000, and there's a couple great condo options. One of the neighborhoods I like is like Rolling Wood, Battery Heights. There's so many different housing options in Manassas. The thing that's also kind of happened is this Manassas area kind of has just pretty much touched with Bristow, and you're seeing all kinds of these brand new data centers come in, and there's all kinds of like wineries and breweries, and then there's Jiffy Lube Live, the concert hall. So there definitely is plenty to do on that part of like Manassas and Bristow and Prince William County. I definitely would consider Manassas. You have some pretty big housing options, like 20112 is going to be a little bit more of like land and things like that. Then 20109 zip code is going to be a little bit more of like townhomes, condos, and older single families, but definitely plenty of housing options. Another area I want to talk about next is Bristow, Virginia. All right, so Bristow is located right here in Prince William County, so you could shoot up the 234 bypass or Linton Hall Road, and you could hop on 66, or you could go up 234 and get on 66 from here as well. A lot of newer homes, kind of built in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Plenty of shopping to do there. They have a lot of brand new roads are kind of going in and out. The traffic used to be really bad there, but it's definitely got a lot better. It's also close to the Manassas Regional Airport, which is kind of like this area. And eventually they're going to have flights coming in out of Manassas Airport that will go to places like Orlando and Texas. And there's talk of a brand new terminal coming in there. So that is a really popular thing, obviously. And then the train station is there as well. And then, of course, Two Silos, which is one of my favorite breweries, is located right over there in that Bristow, Manassas area. Bristow is a really popular area when it comes to housing because most of the schools like Patriot High School are brand new, but it has an overall niche.com rating of an A- for public schools, and then a B+ for housing, and then an A, good for families. I'd say the only downside with Bristow, there's not many like amenities or shopping centers. There's just a few. You definitely need a car when you live there. You're definitely not going to be able to just like walk around and go to places. You're either going to need to Uber around or definitely have your own transportation. But Bristow is really popular. Some of my favorite neighborhoods where a lot of my clients live is called Braemar or Victory Lakes. Really beautiful townhomes and single families. And most of the neighborhoods in there are going to have like your community pool, your community center, tot lots, all kinds of different things to do over there. And like I said, Jiffy Lube Live is really close to there where there's all kinds of large concerts throughout the spring, summer, and then early fall. So plenty to do in that area, but not a very walkable area. Another area, if you kept going down this 28 road right here past Bristow, and you were like, I absolutely positively need to live where there's some land, then that would be Nokesville, Virginia, with a medium sales price of around $620,000. Niche.com gives it an overall Niche.com rating of a B+ for public schools, C- for housing, and then B+ for good for families. Now there's this really charming, the old town Nokesville, which is kind of like the original town, but most houses there are going to be a little bit older. And there's something here called the Rural Crescent where they don't really allow any mass building. So most of the properties there are going to have 10 acres. And like I said, houses in there go anywhere from like $700,000 for an older single family to $1.2 to $1.5 million for a single family with 10 acres. I just sold a family a beautiful D.R. Horton home, which is brand new for around $1.3 million, but it's got 10 acres and they're kind of conveniently located down in here, and they can end up catching 234 here and heading into Fairfax. So Nokesville is really huge. They have this really cool Nokesville Day parade and all kinds of different things that go on over there. Now again, there's not much housing there. I bet if I looked now, there'd only be a couple houses for sale, but I always love talking about Nokesville because one of the original high schools is there, and that's where I went to high school, called Brentsville High School. And like, I love the downtown area. It just has that old school like family feel, so that's definitely a good area. Let's talk about the western end of the county, which would be Gainesville and Haymarket. All right, so Gainesville and Haymarket, I grew up out here, literally was nothing, okay? Like, I had to beg people to come hang out with me, like kids from school, because they used to bus us all the way in from Haymarket and Gainesville all the way deep into Manassas. Let's talk about Haymarket first. Haymarket has two huge neighborhoods that are really popular. One's going to be Piedmont and one's going to be Dominion Valley. Dominion Valley is one of my favorite neighborhoods. It was built by Toll Brothers, has a couple thousand homes. It has like its own middle school, its own elementary schools, and then Battlefield High School is right across the street from over there, and that neighborhood is extremely popular. It's all gated. There is a part that's not gated, but most of it is completely gated. gated. It's actually on the old Walt Disney property when they were going to build Disney's America over there, and then Toll ended up buying it from Disney when the deal fell through. So they have been building this neighborhood since the early 2000s. But get this, Haymarket's medium sold price, $800,000. So it is an expensive area. And then it has an A+ overall niche.com rating, A+ for public schools, B+ for housing, and A+ good for families, right? So right over here is this Haymarket area. Then you have your downtown or Old Town Haymarket. I really love the Haymarket Hotel. And then they have this Haymarket Day parade where all the streets closed. There's all kinds of vendors there. There's all kinds of building going on there. But like I said, the Haymarket Hotel has this like beautiful 5-star restaurant. I'm good friends with them where you go there a lot. You hang out at the bar there. You can just walk around Old Town Haymarket. And then, of course, Piedmont is going to be another gated golf course community that I really like that's over there that a bunch of my friends live in. And then Haymarket, the thing is you can hop on 66 and you can ride that area, or you can even take 29 and you can go right into Washington, D.C. or Fairfax, or even if you wanted to go up to like Ashburn, Chantilly. Haymarket is really popular. You could also take this 15, and this would take you up towards Leesburg, Virginia, a kind of like western Loudoun County area. So the Haymarket, like I said, one of the more popular areas. There's a lot of building going on there, a lot of new construction, some 55+ neighborhoods that are going on in the Haymarket area. But definitely check Haymarket out. I know the area really well. And like I said, over there's a lot of data centers coming in. They're not the most beautiful thing, I will tell you. That's one thing that you definitely want to keep in mind. Now, another area that I actually live in is going to be Gainesville, Virginia. Literally, it was nothing out here when I grew up here, but that kind of splits up between 29, and then you can head right up to Haymarket, or you can go into Manassas, or you can hop on 29 or 66. Whatever you wanted to do, plenty of like options over in the Gainesville area. Now, Gainesville has its own like shopping area, like a Regal Cinema, Lowe's, Target, pretty much everything you can think of. Rockwood is one of my favorite restaurants, and the highway used to be awful there, but they definitely fixed that up, thank God. But anyways, overall, A+ rating on niche.com. A for schools, B+ for housing, A+ good for families, medium sales price of $555,000. There's some older townhome communities where you can get a townhome in a neighborhood called Crossroads for about $400,000, or maybe in the other side of Piedmont for about $500,000 to $600,000. And then there's plenty of like single family home neighborhoods in the millions of dollars and some older condos as well. But Gainesville is a really pretty area for sure. But I hope you enjoyed this big explanation of all the areas of Prince William County. If you're thinking about moving here, definitely hit me up at the number below. We work with buyers and sellers all the time, like you, that watch this YouTube channel. Most of our business comes from this YouTube channel, and you can tell that we definitely know the area. And you better subscribe, because it's a lot of work that goes into these videos. And definitely hit us up if you're thinking about buying or selling a house.